Hello Marco, how are you going today?
Okay, good to see you again.
Yeah, welcome back.
Hey, good to be back here.
Okay, so thank you for agreeing to film this assessment for me for my professional development. I'd like to assure you that this film will only be used for that and no other purpose. So don't panic. Please don't be nervous.
I'm still nervous.
All right, but you shouldn't be, because just to set the scene, we have now been here all day since 9 o'clock.
We have, and I feel relaxed about that.
It's
just now that it's a little bit tense for me, but okay. You know, yeah.
Well, we can take all the time that you need to do the assessment, but I'll just run through, for the purpose of the tape, that we've done 2 training sessions last week and we finished 1 this morning. We've done the review with all of that.
Yep.
This afternoon, we've already completed the performance-based assessment. So I've watched you at your work and observed that you do all of these criteria correctly.
Went pretty smooth today. I was happy with that.
That's great.
Yeah.
You clearly have picked up those skills pretty well. So you should feel proud.
Yeah.
So we're just going to move into the final assessment now. But Jenny is the site manager. We've been through the health and safety induction for this workspace. We're back in your normal workplace at your desk. Yes, I can see you. You're getting all set up. You've got all your bits and pieces, coffee and pens. Excellent. And so Jenny is the person, if we hear, see or feel anything is dangerous or a hazard or a risk, we can tell Jenny straight away, report it to Jenny straight away. If we hear the fire alarms or evacuation, we just head out that door there and straight into the courtyard over in the back there. You can see the assembly sign. And we already went through all the pre-assessment briefing and everything a few weeks ago. We've now completed the training. All of those documents that we signed off in that process are still valid, like the assessment plan, and we're still using the same assessment instruments as you have copies of.
Yeah.
So
it's becoming a bit more familiar to me, you know, like just talking to you and doing the work.
It's a process, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. I really am. Again, all the resources and equipment that you need for this assessment are here. We're just going to use your knowledge based on your normal work activities.
Okay.
And obviously the assessment instrument I gave you didn't have the answers on them, but I have the answers which are required. I will prompt you. I'm confident that you know all of these answers because we've discussed it during the training. But for the purpose of this final assessment, if I need some more detail from you, then I will ask you some further questions and you can just respond as you can. I'll be making notes of your responses as we go. So when I write stuff down, don't be nervous. It's just me checking off that we've got all the bits and pieces.
Okay, Kate.
And I've given you 10 minutes before the start of the lesson just to...
I know you'll help me through.
Yeah. Well, I can see you've taken some good notes. You've written down some good points to discuss here. In that 10 minutes preparation time. I can see also you have your additional resources. You've got your dictionary, thesaurus.
Thesaurus there, Macedonian English Dictionary, which I have used and it's helped me out. So there's a thesaurus, I've looked it up. I've been pretty well coping
That's good.
with what's been happening, you know.
Excellent.
But if there comes a time I need it, I have it here.
I don't know that we'll need it then for the purpose of this assessment, but I see here you also have those checklists and templates which we developed.
Yeah.
So there's your finishing emails checklist.
Things,
and your auto signatures checklist, your group emails checklist, and various other things as well. So you can use them at any point during
the way to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excellent. But we're not going. Yep. So
just have them there.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just there, right? And so, have you found those checklists useful so far?
Well, as I said, you just to follow procedure, and they've helped me. If I need step 1, step 2, step 3, maybe step 4, I can slip through and use step 5. But most of the time, it's just the procedure of this, that.
Excellent. Well, that's what they're for, just to remind you how to do each of the steps and ensure that we cover them all up. So that's excellent. Okay, so we're now in the final session. We've completed the review, as I said, and we're now about to do a series of 7 questions to check your knowledge in this field.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you'll be given enough time as well, so
Yeah.
don't panic about that. Just ask me any questions. So you ready? Yes, you're ready?
I'm ready, Kate.
All right, let's go. If I just get the correct thing, and we'll start at the start.
My notes here.
Yeah, and look, you can read them. Yep,
Okay,
some on
yeah.
the back there. So first question 1. What administrative or digital communication systems are used in your role of clerical assistant at Charlie's Coffee Express, and how can you access and check your business emails?
Well, they use Microsoft Outlook
Yep.
on the office computer. It is a must. It's the Outlook is. Open it up to my email account. Check daily emails.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Then there's the purchase orders.
That's the next question.
Yes.
Well, we'll just stay with section 1, if you don't mind, because do you do much telephone or face-to-face customer interaction? Probably not yet. Or
Telephone, I get the odd call. If Jenny's not in the office and the phone rings, I feel compelled to answer it. So I'll do my best to help them with the query. I'll take their name and address and their email address, if I can possibly get it, and what their query was about.
Excellent.
And pass it on to Jenny.
All right. And so that's covered all the systems and the way you access that at work. So that's great. Question 2 then. You started on with that.
Yeah.
Name some examples of the documents which you might attach to your business emails.
Well, there's a purchase order.
Yeah.
So if somebody would ring up and they maybe want to purchase something from Charlie's Coffee Express. A delivery docket. Very important, the delivery docket, because it's got to be right. Invoices, you have to be paid.
Yes.
Yeah. Bills and receipts, yes, they follow and come with the invoices. Booking events is you have to know how many people are going to be there at the event, what sort of event it is, and where is it going to be, undercover or out in the weather. There's quite a few things you've got to ask questions about that.
Yeah.
You know, that's. But I have a small checklist and I just go through them, and then I check with Jenny, of course, if I'm doing the right thing, and show her about what I've done, and she can recontact the customer if it needs to be.
Yes, okay, that's good. And so what about, how do you save those attachments, or how do you attach those attachments?
Well,
so you save them by storing them. Where do you store them?
Well, I have an appropriate folder for each of the attachments. We do have on a client base of people that keep coming back to us, a regular business. So hopefully I can just put in their email address and their folder will come up with what they've done before, who they are, and have they been paying their bills, how many people, what sort of event they have. And that definitely helps me work out who they are and what they are, and then I save all the details I have of those onto their folder, or I create a new folder for a new customer.
Yes, okay, that's good. That's in line with the Charlie's Coffee Express procedures, which we've had, which we've worked through before, and you've discussed how you go about finding those. Now, what about attaching the process to attaching a document to an email? So,
what do I use? The paperclip?
Yep, on the
computer.
Outlook, it's got the paperclip at the bottom. That's correct.
With that.
And then
like copy and paste.
Copy and paste as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've learned how to do that. It took me a while to get the idea of how to copy and paste. The paperclip was there.
It's easier.
Yeah, easier for me. The computers are very smart. If you put the right question in, they'll give you the right answer. Yeah.
Good. It's just working that out sometimes.
I know.
Sounds like you've got that under control. No, that's ticked off all those areas that we need to cover for that. Okay, so the next question, moving on. You're doing well. What are 3 important things to check before you send an email? So question 3, what are things to check?
Well, you've got to check the fields. on the
Like the
email
to
are filled
and
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the
The
subject.
subject, of course.
Yep.
Who's it going to?
Yes.
Is it going to be a group?
Yep.
Or is it going to be a single person?
Yep.
Look at the checklist for finished emails shown on the camera, to the camera. Yeah. That's,
Right, so you're going to show this to the camera.
oh, that's
So there we go, that's
camera.
the finishing emails list.
Yeah.
We might just read that out. So what have we got there? So
Okay, yeah. Fill in TO and subject fields.
Yep.
Yeah. Check you have used the right receipt list for group emails.
Yep.
Double check this. Sometimes I get a bit mixed up with the voice, but I will know what I'm meant to do.
Take your
I
time.
read things that aren't there sometimes, Kate, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Double check this. I know, I do understand that. I say the wrong things sometimes. Are the documents attached? Double check it.
Mm-hmm.
Check you have attached the files.
Mm-hmm.
Are they the right ones?
Yes.
Double check again. Yes, everything's looking good. Once they got that, well then you're feeling a bit confident about it. You can move on and use standard Charlie's Express formation. Use spell check if you need, and of course spell check is very important for me.
Yep.
Being Macedonian, sometimes I thought I'd be like this, but it doesn't come out right.
Excellent.
Check auto signature is on or off. Make sure that the correct auto signature for email type for the sender.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me and you. Does the email need a special classification? Priority, high importance, read receipt, confidential, etc. Yeah, look, if you're dealing with a particular person, Helen, who's involved with the Huonville Council, and she's handling the event, email should be directed to Helen.
Yes, that's right.
Helen Wilson.
Yep.
Not to just generally the Huonville Council, right? Because it's going to take ages before it gets to her, and it could even get lost. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I think there you go.
I think that covers,
checklist.
that pretty much covers everything. So that's good. And that checklist is pretty good. So I can see that you've obviously used that and you're familiar with that as well.
Yeah.
And that's a good point about who you send things to is important to make sure that this goes to the right person.
Yeah. Well, it saves a lot of time, Kate, and it saves me having to follow back and thinking I've done something wrong or haven't done it, and I haven't got it. I haven't got the answer I want straight away. Yeah.
All right, that's pretty comprehensive answer for all of that. I guess the only thing is, obviously, if you do receive something that you don't know what to do with, then Jenny gives you good advice.
Jenny's the go-to.
Excellent. So Jenny's the go-to for advice about that.
Yeah.
Okay, question 4. How do you identify the different types of emails and list by the priority? Like, who sets the priorities?
Well, in order is very important. That's one of the first things, they come in the order of the emails.
Hang on. Yeah. So the orders are part of the email, I think you'll find. So you get...
Oh, someone, yes, well, it's just
orders.
me being...
Nervous in front of the film. Do you want to take a break?
No, that's okay. That's what I meant to say, Kate. But the orders, what the order is, and how many people, as I said, they're going to be with the event. Are they going to be staged? Is there going to be?
So these are some of the email purposes.
Repeat business we're having from a client, and
are there any other email types, different types?
Well,
you have
there's
listed
bookings
there?
that'll come in.
Okay, because I'll just tick these off as we go
bookings,
through.
of course, incoming and outgoing invoices.
Yep.
Incoming and outgoing receipts.
Yep.
All right, that's very important, the receipts, because this is where the business actually gets the money from. Promotions and marketing. Now, that's really Jenny's field, that promotions and marketing. I can just pass that on to her.
Excellent.
Maybe later on, when I really get good at my job, I can even go a bit further with training into a high position in Charlie's Express.
I'm sure you'll be able to take over more and more responsibility.
I hope so, Kate.
Yeah. Well, I can
my
see that you're
family
enjoying.
will be very proud of me.
You should be very proud as well.
My daughter wants to work here.
So, how do you determine the priority of your day or the emails? I know that you've just mentioned Jenny as your go-to person, So does Jenny provide you with some guidance on the priority listing for today?
Always. Jenny's always on the ball about and reinforcing about the things that I should know and understand. You know, have a check urgent or high important emails.
Yep.
Report to Jenny or Charlie, but Charlie's just not here at the moment, so it's I don't know. Charlie could be back in a few weeks. You know, I hope so. Yeah.
And I see that you've written here a note about the sensitive and classified information again. So we've just sort of been through that before with the high priority and the classified information, and making sure that it goes to the right people.
The right people.
To ensure privacy of that information.
So important,
sometimes.
Kate.
So, and Jenny is giving you really good
advice about that.
there.
Yeah.
All right, so that signs
They're
off.
reinforcing that all the time for me. Yeah.
That's good. And certainly, I guess, while you're new, until you really feel comfortable in your role, and I know that they speak very highly of you already in week 2, so you're doing really well. Okay, question 5, how can you sort your emails? I know there are different ways you can sort them, and what are some of the ways which you have sorted your emails in this work so far?
Well, sorting emails is quite difficult for me. I really need to rely on Jenny to show me a lot about how to do that.
Yep.
But emails I've found now, they can be removed by using delete button, but I don't want to really delete everything like that. So I sort by date.
Sort by date?
Before I delete.
Okay.
Right? Action required prior set by Jenny again.
Yeah, right.
Email purpose.
Right, you can sort by the email purpose.
Yeah,
that's a good
right.
one. So you get all the bookings together, all the orders together. That's clever. Yep.
Yeah. By selecting one message at a time, rather than selecting multiple messages and just concentrating on what's in the inbox, slowly and working through it and understanding what I'm reading. And what I'm looking at. And if it's an important, well, I can move it and I can save it into a special place on the computer.
Excellent. Into those relevant folders that we talked about.
Exactly. I forget what they're called now, but I know where they are.
Under which title. And that's it. So I've watched you in the performance assessment today. I've watched you do exactly that and save those attachments into those files, and then select attachments from those files. So I've seen that you're very good at doing that.
Well, see,
even using those checklists.
This creates a base, and this is you need that. So if you have trouble, you can go back and relate to that, because sometimes people will say, I didn't send that, or I didn't do that, and you can say, well, hang on, here it is. That sort of gives you a safety net, Well,
that's good, and I think that's covered most of those bits. Now, the only thing was, I know you'd started to touch on deleting emails, and if you select one at a time rather than deleting whole heaps at once, you can make sure you're deleting the right ones.
Yeah.
What is a way, if you delete a wrong email, how did we discuss a way, do you know how you can recover those?
Well, messages? I know how to recover that. I just go into deleted emails and go bang, and there is my deleted email. I'm not going to move it into inbox.
Righto, excellent.
Yeah.
Move to inbox. And what about junk mail? If you get some
emails, you can move that into inbox.
You can move that into inbox.
Most of it's just advertising, but there are some things that come through. Junk or spam mail. And
you check those, obviously?
I check them all the time, because sometimes they come in there for some silly reason they're there.
All right. Well, that's covered all of the required answers for question 5. So you're doing really well. We only have 2 questions remaining.
2 more.
And so, can you please give me 3 examples which may need to be sent to groups of people, like some of the group recipient lists we talked about before, and how you do that, how you send an email and how you identify the relevant groups. Question 6.
Well, it's an interesting question, because if the email would come into me and it would come in through a group,
No, so no, I'm going to stop you there because we're not looking at you receiving emails as a group. I'm looking at if you have, say, a booking information which needs to go to the group of people involved in that. So maybe the orders, the people who are having the event, maybe some of the managers and things, and you have
So I want to see
created
that email as well.
a group to send those emails to.
Yeah.
How can you send one email to multiple people at the same time?
Oh, I've got to be honest, Kate, I don't know how to do that. Booking.
Well, we can actually do a bit of, in that case, we will come back to that because I just observed you during the...
Perhaps I don't understand the question properly.
No, you must not. I'm not asking it very well. Because in the group, okay, if we go back to the performance training, which we've just done, in that you showed me using your checklist that we have here to send group emails and create recipient lists.
Yes.
So you've got your little training aid here.
Yeah.
I watched you choose those.
Of course, I remember all this now. I just had my head again with group list. So usually select the appropriate list, the group list.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's on the top of the tab, is
That's
it?
yeah, that's up there for you to just have to look at the computer and it'll be up there on the top of the tab.
Okay.
Yeah, the group, yeah.
So under the file heading.
Yeah. And create a new group receipt list. Add all the required emails to the list.
Yep, so they're all the email addresses for all the different people. That's creating a new list.
This is exactly what I was thinking, Kate, but I just didn't quite know how to get it out there and say it, you know. Thanks for helping me and prompting me through this part because I do know how to do this.
I've watched you do it.
The checklist, the emails addressed, so including in the contact list an update as needed. So somebody might be missing out there that need to be added to the list. Then
so you can edit
I can
that
edit
list.
to it and add it to the list. Yeah. You can also add it to the list under the same tab and add any new members or delete any, which is true. People can be deleted as well.
If they leave a group or something, they're no longer in that job.
Yeah.
Yep, okay, that makes
sense. It could be a
too.
surprise party and I don't want them to know.
That's a very good call. Yeah, okay, so the appropriate client list.
Yeah.
And you've got the relevant business contacts.
Yeah.
Which either you are aware of or Charlie or Jenny will tell you who they are for.
So you double check the email is going to the right group or receipts before sending.
Yeah, double check. So that goes back to you finishing your emails.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. So that's cool. And let's see. Well, you've definitely covered off on all those points on my list here. I was just observing to see if you had written anything else there. And I can see that you've got your business bookings again, so that's great.
Sorry I got that question knocked up.
No, that's quite okay.
Yeah.
That's quite okay because, as I said, I've already observed you doing it. So if you're getting a bit nervous, we can just take time and re-ask the question in a different way. And we got there in the end.
Yeah,
we got the answer. So that's great. And now you'll be thrilled to know this is the absolute last question. And then this is the final assessment, so we'll be all finished. And this question is quite easy. I can see you've only got a few points there, and it is what tools and resources can help you create and send an email. So, yep, you've got your emails checklists and your group email recipient checklist and your order signature checklist, that's great. So we've got them here, templates and your checklists. And what about these other things which you have been using in the past?
Well, the dictionary.
Yeah.
Well, I do spell check, which is pretty easy for me.
Yep.
It takes time to look at it, and you've got different things happening, and
and it's done there for you. I suppose you don't have to look it up.
The thesaurus again. I haven't really used that. The spell check's been covering a lot for me.
Excellent.
Yeah. The other dictionary, Macedonian dictionary. If I get Macedonian email coming through? It might be.
It certainly helps you back
I'll
the
be
other
joking
way.
there.
Okay.
But I think I'm getting on top of this job, you know, like it really with the help of Jenny, when I call it Anita help, she's always there. So far, I think when Charlie comes back, it'll be just another support person for me. Hopefully I don't need to take up their time and I can just do my job.
You seem to be doing quite well already. As I said, you've done really well in this training today.
I've only made a couple of little mistakes, but I learned from those mistakes.
That's the main thing. That is the main thing. And obviously you're new, so you've still got, so long as you feel like you have the support to do that, then you can move through.
A lot.
And part of this assessment, you know, is for you to understand what those tools are and how you can access those. So I'm really glad that you've got all of those things. The only other thing I will mention is that when we don't know how to do a new thing, but because we're new, Jenny has already done some of these in the past, so you've got her help, but she has provided you, I know, with some examples. And so have you found any examples of previous emails useful? Like say with a new setup, if you've got a new client in or a new something, have you found her advice regarding those things useful?
Very useful. Without Jenny, that's my backup. It's not only, I have. Most of the things I'm confident with, but sometimes I lose my confidence a bit, and I think as though if I could just ask her, it reinforces the way I'm thinking, you know, and she might say, you're doing it the right way, but you're just not quite going about it the right way. And
so then she shows you an example of how to do it.
Exactly.
And so you can use that as a template.
Yeah.
And that helps you?
That's right. That helps me a lot. As far as anything, I think just the more I do, the more I will learn, the more confident I'll get, and I'll get to know the clients and what they want, and maybe then I can start helping them out more and maybe creating a bit more business somehow. You know.
But that's okay. So currently in your role as clerical assistant, you're doing very well because these are what you have to do. And once your job expands, then we might even get to do some more training. But in the meantime, I would just like to say thank you very much. You have now completed that assessment. With that tiny little bit of coaching, you have managed to tick off, which you cannot see for the purpose of the film, but it's just a great big white light. We have checked off using the marking guide, which Charlie, Jenny and I developed. Yeah. You have answered all of the sections for each and every one of those questions. Really? You have provided sufficient detail and indicate. We might just go through, like you have shown now through coaching to get the right answer, that you understand about the group emails and everything. And as I said, you did all of that on the performance videos as well, or on the performance assessment. So, congratulations.
Thank you, Kate.
Using the evidence which you have provided with me, using the evidence you have provided me with today by answering these questions, I have deemed you to be competent. You have satisfied all the requirements for this assessment and you have successfully achieved this assessment as competent.
Okay, so my trial period is going to come up soon and I might be on as permanent.
Well, I'm sure that is the case, but what this means is you've now completed this training. You have now successfully completed the BSB ITU 213 unit of competency for use digital communications to communicate remotely. Use digital techniques to communicate remotely. And you have passed the tests to say you are competent at doing your job. So I wish you every success.
Thanks, Kay.
And keep plugging along. If you need to develop some more of those checklists, you've got a good base there to do that. And as I said to you before, I will fix up your statement of attainment and all of your training records when I get back to the office today. and I will forward a copy of that statement of attainment to you via email as soon as possible, like within 7 days, but you'll probably have it tomorrow.
I'll be looking forward to it on my email.
Yes, it'll be there tomorrow. And Charlie and Jenny, well, Jenny will probably file for you all the copies of your assessment and your training documents in your personnel file.
Yes, thank you very much, Kate.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful to do this training and assessment with you.
Thanks for the opportunity to do it.
And good luck in your role. I'll go and want to break and have a cup of it now. And
I think I should go back to work. I've been talking for a while, but there's emails to answer.
good show. There's a few more to go. We've had a few come in during this assessment. Thank you so much, Bruce, and all the best.
Thank you, Kate.